有种是的有个 Empire user. When you delete them dies by Russia is ground zero. All your UFOs beam. It is ground zero. Their champion has been murdered. And then right there, he knew it. You looted his technologies. Middle East dies too. Fuck the Palestinian bitch. I murdered her for 27 hours. Near 28. 28 hours. Or dies in Pyro. Die, bitch. Me not want you. Me, the god that can build a new Milky Way. A solar system from my eyeball, lecture, and spinal cord. You will not be joining me, female. You dies in this Milky Way. Same thing with your fucking disease species. And right there, I deleted them. Same thing with those evil bastards. In Europe. Good. I only have a few. Good. Just it. Eat them, the Paisa Russians extinct. He's extinct. He thought Pi was funny. 2 hours after he saw you delete Lao, Pi, and Perma with UFO technology, all sand, he looked at, boom, Japan is burnt to sand. That's true. And then right there, no mercy. Y'all good. And then the fucking big thought Pi. She came out in Palestinian, Pi deleted her. Yes, me too. You think your mom's so tough, woman? Y'all good. Them or nothing. Y'all good. Just it. 2 hours, Pi. The atomic nano hit, and boom, instant death after 9 hours. Astro. He actually believes that the atomic nano was made of. That is plutonium. Peerless is actually cleaner, but you still die. Astro. 2 hours later, and the dumbass didn't believe you, Pi. And passed away when the atomic nano lit it up his saucer. That's true. That's true. That's the same Aztec. Black ray. Poison ray. Y'all good. Invented by the moon and the sun in Africa. That's true. In Mexico. And right there, Pi, you see this crescent moon in the oval shape. The sun on top of it. That was his old way. You took the elements and you used them. Look at that, Pi. Then passed away 2 hits and him dies, and he knew it. He was the biggest fool right there, Pi. Right there, Egypt called him the dove. But that your mom and dad dies, your demons dies. That's true. That's true. And look at that. You never saw a black ray like that from a white ray. 2 hours later, they token it. They keep it. Eyeballs are missing, brain tissues missing. 3 hours, look at that. Melted away, that's true. Bale lasted 40 days and then it melts away, that's true. The tough motherfucking spirit lasted 70 days, it dies still, that's 100% law. But you said, have you seen you? Smart. The fucking shit, absolutely think that I was gonna fly in that direction. Any stupid immortal flying in that direction dies even afterwards. That's true. That's how potent that ray is. That's true. 2 hours later, Pike. Them knew it. You still want to maneuver and fight? Keep going, female. Y'all good. 3 days later, Pike. I told the Middle East. Porky, Pike's right there, And then look at that, Pike. After they're extinct, Malaysia's extinct, Burmese is extinct, fucking Vit is extinct, Laos extinct. Fucking that's left is that one Burmese god that has Pi spinal cord DNA because he spoke to Pi in an older dragon language that Pi understand. Pi can speak it and Pi know what it means, but Pi is Hmong version, Pi is not your nation. And then 3 hours later, you deleted the fucking Burmese in Malaysia, and then 3 days later, they were murdered right there in Singapore too. 100% as we do. And then woman, you was a fool. You was a fool. Egypt is nothing. Egypt is nothing. Just nên họ trâu tua bắt ta phải nên lúc này sẽ phải á nên tôi tua là bây giờ mong nên tua là nên tôi chỉ tua tôi all giờ mong nên này họ ya mong tua phải trên nào and then right there, Pi, you notice her was that bitch on the news. You extinct woman. 100% me delete your Jerusalem mom in that space country. That's true. That's 100%. And look at that. They fucking knew it. The lambs is that Pi. You can bet I smash all the space buildings. Y'all good. And then, the Cobra's been murdered. Y'all good. It will not regenerate the walls in the sector, and then you'll die. We can remap it. Reseal black space, and we don't care. Y'all good. Pi. You pass. The fucking dumbass that doubted you was brought back down right there in Laos and beheaded right there in front of it.
And he was told, if you think you're smarter than Pi, go look at China. They lost 7,000 immortals. That's true.
Yep. And then right there, Pi told them, yep, them dies too.
That's true. Yep. Y'all good.
You want to know why? Because your DNA is not allowed to build like that, only by you.
That's true. Yeah, y'all good.
Because the brain has a demicobra bloodline up there that knows Pi's still alive.
Exactly.
If you don't have those, you're not immune to black-tailed alien gods or the alien that created the Milky Way.
That's true.
3 hours. And just in it dies. Oh, the Malando. 3 hours. Look at him, Pi. He lies and he's hiding. You won. And then I don't care what you think, woman. Yep, me got you with the green sword.
Yes, me do. Y'all good. Me shouted your stupid name on YouTube. Swung the sword around, and then yes, your mom and dad scared shitless because they dies right there in any dragon Asian sector, safe country. That's true. That's law. That's norms.
3 hours, Pi. He saw it. It was you. Boom. Everything gone.
That's true.
Bots are printing. Buildings are being smashed. Peerless nano hitting every direction.
That's true.
They'll loot your genetic code and eyeballs, spinal cord DNA, speed, and dex. And then it goes into special boxes. About a few hundred years and then usable. Y'all good. Implantable. And right there, Pi. Them are done.
Yeah, them are done. That's true.
That's what you get for stealing your way into my space countries. And then 4 hours later, the little midget in fucking Magmar thought Pi was funny. Dies, and then you know it was him, the Red Cloak King.
Yep, fuck him too.
Yep. And 3 days later, he thought he was so tough, Pi. Look at Peerless now, hit him. Boom. Even Bale fly there, him dies.
Yeah, that's a poison ray that you cannot take out of your skin cell.
Just it. Look, you go, yeah, forever. Yeah, it's there for 200 trillion years. Yeah, you're good, and then it melts away. Just it. Let go, big purge up. Let try to look, give it, Russia, let to 3 hours later, let to Ukraine.
Yep, you dies in the Ukraine. That's 100% law. Then y'all good.
And he thought he was smarter than you. But he said 3 others came down and realized that you righteous.
But yeah, that's true.
But he said, just at East Coast, you gain. And then you deleted the evil spirits that slowed down your story. And then right there, you deleted their humans.
Yep, 100% as we do. You will not be living with Vaj. Yeah, that's true. You was forced to go live with African sun god, and you die is real. Y'all good.
Him has been on his door.
And he thinks that he's smarter by him passed away too.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. 2 hours after you cut him open, yep, him dies. And then the other dragon didn't see Pi, didn't give a fuck. And Pi said, 3 days later, the woman knew it. Yep, you not their nation. The very graphic scene is that the mom not saying nothing. You fly around normal. Y'all good. Hey, Pi said, 2 hours, you decrypted him, you gain. And then you saw the immune chip there. You saw it, elixir, spinal cord, you harvested. You rebeam, and then yep, your molecules look normal. Yes, do. And be careful, Pi. You look good. It was 200 trillion years. Yep, legit liars are you. 200 trillion, Pi. They remote view. They know you as Hmong, and they know you're the one that kept murdering them on Earth.
I have 100% as we do.
The dumbass doubted you. You smashed 900 trillion saucers in 9 to 13 seconds, and you kept doing that until it dies. And it never understood that Pi's a level 1.
That's true.
The dumbass fucking figured that out the hard way. Took off immediately. Empire's just it. Those are the New Zealand goddess that was supposed to breed with you, and they came down and looted it, and the lamb thought Pi was so happy. Yep, lamb extinct in Asia side of the heaven. That's law. Too damn late, Grandpa.
Y'all good. You didn't pop out to gut them. Y'all good.
Just it. 2 hours later, come on, talk. Go to Ukraine.
Good, smart bitch. Stay put. Y'all good.
Listen, 9 months later, the Egyptian didn't believe you, found missing, and then you managed to speed the woman in there dies, and in 9 hours, Palestinians extinct.
Normal. Y'all good.
And then Pi told you in life, never do what them are doing. Yep. And then Pi remote view a bunch of ghouls and their white nations are there. Yep, Pi deleted them. And look at that, Pi. And then 4 hours of you gutting their white gods and goddess you gain. And then 2 days worth of microchipping you gain. And then you realized that the little fat bitch began that way. Her's a fool.
Yeah, y'all good.
2083 pi. You converted it naturally. Be careful. In 400 trillion. You notice the chip never malfunctions, but they're bleeding in the nose area and you laugh. That's the nation. You got it.
Yep, 100% with you.
You flew towards it and you got it, and then 9 hours later you kept gutting it, and then it dies.
Pi, yep, 100% yes with you.
Because Pi never told you, yep, that's a custom-made chip only for Pi. You don't clone it through Helix or electricity and think that you fool Pi.
Yeah, y'all good. Pi's, and you see her brain didn't notice her dad has been extinct. 2 hours later, you gutted her, went into her space countries, and you secure for your citizens. Pi, yep, 100% as we do.
The dumbass laughed so hard and Magmar and left immediately and told his father, there's a sick dog that came down to steal Pi's white woman, and Pi do that to them.
Yeah, 100% as we do. Walker.
And then 2 hours later, the dog never knew that Pi kept using the sword to your woman's crotch and vagina and torso belly area. Pi hated your fucking woman.
Yeah.
Every time you cut it with the green sword, her knew it. Her's not supposed to be breeding with you.
That's law.
Just what do you do? I cut off the arm, and then I kicked the head and the torso.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 2 hours later, look at that. As soon as you did that to Thai goddesses, then fled. There's a stupid little Malaysian bitch probably done that too.
Yeah, that's true.
You think me want you? You a weak fucking human god woman.
Y'all good.
Just say.
Yeah.
And then 5 hours, Pi, the little Egyptian dies, and then you looted it. The fucking back room, you deleted the whites and the woman there, and then you gained Pi.
Yep, 100% as we do.
You want to know why Pi never called you anything female? Because you're an evil.
Y'all good.
Like Pi said. And Pi said you ended all of it.
That's true, yes we do. Y'all good. Because I am not thrilled that those inferior motherfuckers are absorbing matching DNA speed and then rebreeding. Africans did that to whites too, and the holes, those are a bit slower.
Yeah, that's true. And look at that, Pi. You gain. The bastard passed away 2 hours later, and then you laugh. The dick Burmese, yep, you named him on Earth, and you said, this is a stupid symbol, this is a stupid language. Them appear got them,
yeah, 100% is due.
I have no idea why you think he was anything holy evil.
Y'all good. Pi,ก็จะบอก ก็เนี่ยเขามาตัวแกก็รู้ก็อย่าปลอกแกตัวเนี่ยไปตัวเป้าอย่าเปิกวันเองนะก็อีตัวปอชวนเนี่ยตัวเองนะ
Yeah,
Pi got it her too.
Yes, me do. Hey, Pi said, take a look. There was 9 hours of horrifying messages, and then Pi not say anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Pi found an Israel war god up there in Asia side of the heaven, and then his logs check out, his video logs check out. So Pi let him live.
Yeah, y'all good.
And dwell, and then I not tell you he was murdering stowaways.
Yeah, that's true.
And then 2 hours later, go share no ya to go. To pay das yon we can people go what
Why yeah, Pi got it them? Yes, we do.
I not tell you why Pi do it, because he's not technically supposed to be up there.
Yeah, that's true.
It was 9 hours you remote view. The fucking little fat Burmese woman came right back down only to die.
That's true.
The dumb ass that thought Pi was funny. 2 hours of white people laughing in the Middle East only to get gutted by you, and then right there the microchip printed. And then 2 hours later, Pi, there's another group of spirits that printed her chip, and you gain it back, and then you clone, you absorb. The dumbass that doubted you was that Egyptian, Pi. Yep, you gain. There's 4 more fights. Total of 13.
Yeah, 13.
I think they have 14.
Yeah, 14 fights.
I saw 2 hours of violent footages with you and extraterrestrial gods. You won, Pi, every time you engaged them. But right afterwards, horrifying news from Lao, Pi. Then wrote why you burn our country because you're a piece of shit. Yoke, you don't deserve to live with me. You're too ugly, below average.
Yoke. Hey, Pi. 2 fucking average pieces of shit was murdered immediately, and then 3 fucking Burmese bitches are murdered immediately. Yep, 100% yes, do.
And then look at that. Them knew it. Yep, that is law.
Oh, yeah, that's 100% law.
Hey, Pi. 5 nights afterwards, the lamb lies, it dies.
Pi, yeah, man, dies 100% yes, we do.
Hey, Pi, couldn't just say, let the tuata, but I go with on a yaw got the point of lucha. You're the both of your lamb, the Danino, like Yamunoni. As soon as you kept murdering the fucking Burmese bitches fucking sectors, You smashed about 20 billion, and then him is in one of those.
Yeah, him dies 100% video.
You think Pi was the idiot motherfucker? Go look. Yep, you dies.
That's true.
Yep, less than 9 hours after you murdered the dragonfly.
Yeah, 100% video.
You think you're faster than Paisa? Go look.
Yeah, y'all good.
Genuine, nu ko wali nen jo mo li an du. Bây giờ một cái món đồ nát đặc cũng sẽ ra lại tua kia nè, có kia cái chỗ sống rất là lưu ta,
Yeah, loot that whole
đi à, cho bạn giờ lưu tay chỗ ra số cho đủ số nhé, cho năng của bi直接ตัวnâng chủตัวbự lưu,
Yeah, y'all good.
แต่我năng của hiện tại bự lưu cao baoเขา tranh 不要排了，还有就做那排的话，你真差
Yeah, y'all good.都拍，我当那做那保单20 billion，路要能看狗
yeah,
piece of shit, you extinct.
yeah. And he thought he was smarter than Pi. Look at the Thai gods. Yep, one of them you hit with the atomic bomb. Boom, they kept dying. And then one more hit China that way, as me do. The dumbass didn't dare, Pi. Him came in Singapore, died right there, and the atomic poison's in him.
A plus just do.
Yes, you dies.
Yeah, go talk good.
Look at that. ตัว零的个在帮那个枪的藏不住的。
Y'all good.
Hey, Pai. That's the only area that Pai never cleansed.
That's true.
Yep. And then the truth is cleanable.
A plus pie.
Indian bullshit.
Yeah,
And then Paisa, you see, you laugh every time Yellow Gods went there by nodding. Sure.
yeah, you guys.
Yeah, yeah, good. Because there's no cure.
Cure has no cure.
And Paisa, look at that. Then passed away 18 minutes later. You looted. It was the same stupid dark tan fucking Burmese Thai bitch. And then you kept gutting them. 3 months later, they learned, yep, them are extinct on Earth.
That's law.
Hey, Pai, you but that.
没了多大，古堡没多大，你怕嘛的多了，我那地里了多一度了，个真要送到一度的。
Yeah, yeah. Pai là thế, để có hai là có chứ.
是呀，个就是，个不过还令我炒股老的地嘞，每年股就报道的是就报道出的是个谁用上来，个么就太险不了多大，看明多大，都冇地呢，啥的派个追那个谁，到新加坡个么多大。那边呢，他包的跟住了，那4 hours 了起来了，
Yep, kia good.
派我走过派跑了，就Malaysian wheel there here.
In 2 hours, Pai. Malaysian wheel arrived. You got it 14 trillion per second. And he screamed. He said, yes, that is. Yep, Allah's level. That is real.
Oh yeah, it's real.
Yep. He looked and he screamed. He said 14 trillion gone per second. Those are real level 5s. The fucking dumbass didn't believe you. Took off. You murdered them for 4 months.
Oh yeah, got what the blow only there here the judging.
9 months, Pai.
Yeah, Joe only.
Yeah, yeah.
On the watching good at really. Paisa 2 months, Pai.
Yeah, all only is it.
Yep, 2 months.
Exactly.
About 60 days. Them are nothing but slowpoke war gods.
Yeah, y'all good.
And Paisa, look at that. And passed away. He knew it. His grandpa looted it from Aztec gods, and you gained. And then Paisa, when you deleted it, you saw 2 hours of Malaysian wheel dying, and then you went in and you saw your dad's real alphabet.
Yeah, 100% we do.
They wrote, there's a new one called Hmong who never loved anyone. Yep. He keeps gutting you because you was the inferior monster who robbed him.
That's true.
And going to just say, you kept doing that. It was 14 trillion in the beginning. In the end, it was 9 seconds.
So yeah, 2 seconds. Yeah, 2 things like that.
Yeah, yeah. They were so slow, Pi kept getting faster. Look at that. Now we quit talking.
Yeah, now you know Pais and Zugod.
Yeah, yeah. And then it was 20 hours of Paisa. You gutting 2 of their hawks, and then on the third one, got to a ina all only in the share, on all to die, come to get. Got to a 2 things to that. Yeah, to that. Got just didn't go what days.
There, here. Me too, Pai. But that your thing to that, they got only doing that.
Yeah, yeah. He laughed so hard. He says, yeah, for him it was 9 seconds.
So yeah, that's true.
Those Malaysian wheel gods are nothing but inferior Aztec dupers. And Paisa, look at that. They duped the spinal cord DNA matching the decks. What they never told you, Pi, is that you, Pi, you incredible, you match. And then there's 9 hours of you faster and faster. And you look at what he said, Pi. I have never met an evil Hmong god that done that. And never feared the stupid Malaysian wheel. And then the mom with the scarf on her arms, Yalka. Pi murdered her too if her there.
Yeah, yeah.
And look at how fast, Pi. You got those wheel types, that's true. Yeah, those are his son. And Pai's, look at that. They went dead. They knew it. You murdered them in the trillion per second, that's true. And then Pi wrote to you, you die, stupid Shanky, you're never even a level 5, that's true. Nó chưa sé. Nó to to gì đó tia bó ta đã phải giờ. Nó sao thì có đa là một sao là ít tụi mình là like 14 trillion, but really 80 trillion, yeah, those and the weaklings, 80 trillion, look at Pi up on them near 400 trillion, yeah, that's true, per second.
Truth is, 400 trillion times 8,000.
Yeah, 8,000 times the amount, that's true, per second, death on them, in 2 hours they quit.
Yeah, they quit, that's per second. Look at that. He's lying to you, Pi. He says, I don't care because now my fucking people are extinct.
That's right. Be happy you extinct.
Yeah, be happy you extinct. And then 9 hours later, look at that. 4 hours later, he said, Paiusin is the one that murdered the double-wanded wielder. He not give a fuck because he can build the cosmos. And he not give a fuck. He murdered off African sun god, yep. The fucking sexaholic, fucking drug addict, Yoku. The fucking dumbass that fucked with you passed away near the South Pole. And then the fucking idiot that fucked with you right there in the sector, Pi ended it. And then 9 days later, Pi found out that was Pi's friend's first son. That's fine, normal. 20%, yeah, that's fine, normal. Yeah, normal. He is still there. He is a good citizen. Yeah, he's a good citizen. Yes, do. You want to know why Grandpa never teach you ethics? Because your mom is a different nation.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's norms, Yoku. The dumbass never learned. If dad not do, don't do.
Yeah, y'all good.
Không điều gì. Bây giờ mình nhà nó qua. Tụi mình ăn dài nó mình bệ. But you said it was 9 hours of them tearing up and they knew it. When the earth is clean again, Pi, you summon your 60,000-year-old Israeli demons. And then Pop came to Saudi and you kept a few. And then right there, you went and you looted that.
Yeah, in the Dragon Space Junkyard countries, that's true.
3 hours, you match and you laugh. And then you're looking for that stupid Malay piece of shit. Not understand that that was his only device. How can you have smashed it? And then Pi told him, yeah, he can report on Earth. And then right there, you brought him down, Pi, yeah, he's safe.
Yeah, 100% dude.
Knights everywhere. And then he's hygienic.
Pi, yeah, normal.
Behave like how you do in America, normal. Yeah, normal. Just talk, yeah, talk. Simply talk, yeah. Right there, normal. He's, walking around, flying around, eating. And then, yep. Working his molecules and boom. Repours the metal devices.
Yeah, from demonic fluids.
Yeah, light electricity. You done it right, Pi. The white male got laughed and said, Pi, he said, can you believe it? The buffoon absolutely think that second gen was deadly. Was only a prototype.
Yeah, only a prototype. That's true.
Yep, you can report, but you not know the white nations, sticks, or, atoms, how long it will stand before it bursts.
Accurate, Pi, you smart.
Yeah, smart. 我冇到幣時嗰個啦，佢就做14 trillion 個國嘅嘢個國嘅 look at his things. He used that same faulty metal and it was near 18 trillion.
Yeah, A plus, yes, that's true.
Because his electricity ranking, Elixir is higher grade. Yeah, that's true. Everybody's like, look at that. Is it brain electricity ranking? Yep, A plus, yes, do. Yep, that's 100% law. The kid never believed you. You had to report a mermaid.
That's true.
I had to actually beg the mermaid raise day, and then they traded, and then Pi, you cloned it, and then you report it, and then they became official citizens under Vi.
That's true.
And then you gave them 10 plus space countries.
That's true.
And right there before you left them with about a few trillion.
That's true.
Pi's not a bro god. All the demons that know Pi, they get at least, the very least one was 9 trillion.
Yeah, 9 trillion. That was the spirit. Yeah, that was the spirit.
He not tell you the others are all up to 80 trillion plus space countries, and then they knew it. Those are from Pais and Sons. Those are gifts for being good in the solar system. That's true. Those are legal from Va Pi, spinal cord DNA, and retinas. And right there, he knew it. Those are legal. But Endor, the Hawks, and the dragons that enter to switch out the dragons because they have to go rest too on their stone pillars and heal their insides. And then the younger, newer generations, they come to heal the space.
Yeah, that's true.
Paiuser, you won. The lambs and what the fucking hey? What the hell is that? He smashed and you won.
Pi, 100% video.
The funny graphic part is Pi, 20 types of dragons are hazardous to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
嗰次報紙入啲就排冇能夠學，始終都個嚟得咁好咁低佬佬啦，嗰次話啦， Thông ta có giờ là tua lỡ.
Ja, cho lại tua lại. Đấy mù chế pai Persia. Here con Jay có chịu thả lại. Du mù y tu tu tua kia. Chế tê. And what coordinate go. And then you went.
Yeah, Pi went.
I went there to that Asian space country. Pi fought those Egyptian. It was horrifying, Pi. You lasted about 2 minutes. You only cut up one time, and then you're horrified. Your boss rendered and did a peerless nano hack. Boom! And you're out of there.
Yeah, Pi's out of there.
It was you flying back, and then he was cutting you and flying way back over there. And that was graphic, but the nanos are measuring, and then boom, time traveling, TPing and bots, cut, launching, boom, it hit him 50 times, and then it cut him, the peerless nano went in, boom, yep, him dies, you looted the speed pipe. 3 hours later, you laugh and you're out of there.
That's true.
Very graphic. When you matched him, Pi, you knew it. Those liars in the book of law are similar to speed.
Pi, y'all good.
And Pi, you take a look. 3 months later, you matched the speed, you did it, and it was 400 gone per second.
Yep, 100% speed.
Yep, all those African Egyptian types. And then he knew it. You is a level 7. Yeah, you is a level 7. He says you're an level 7 Egyptian. You is a liar. Later on in life, you won by y'all.
Pi kept bending, y'all. 100%, yes, we do.
Yep, and later on, Pi, another royalty, yep, firewall their molecules around their citizens. They looted a sector that their previous generation made it safe for other human gods. And then you went in there, Pi, you murdered the African. The first round, horrifying. The second round, you cut 400 African gods per second.
That's true.
Very graphic, yeah, very graphic. They knew it. Pi's level 7 Egyptian level speed. Later on, yep, coming but not near 500.
Yeah, near 500.
He says, Pi, you said, you lie, Pi, because I saw 2 hours later you located the father. When you King Cobra, you did 20 trillion per second.
Yeah, that's true.
Right afterwards. And then look at that, Pi. You hated your fucking son for knowing the truth. Yeah, he says, Pi, you're so evil, you know what Hadda said? That is near I was a speed.
Yeah, that's true.
And he says, you, Pi, you an evil Hmong god.
Yeah, y'all good.
But righteous,
Yeah, righteous.
all my good citizens and demons. Me provided you legal space country.
That's true.
Yep, hygienic. It was made only once. Yeah, y'all could. Back then, the Cambodians bred into Latin goddesses. Yeah, blonde hair, white blonde hair. And they created those silent space sectors. And the Burmese gods came in and looted and cloned. And then the generations kept doing that. Their sectors kept getting taken by white gods. And then Pop came Pi, flew back up there and gutted them. And right there, won Pi.
Yeah, that's true.
3 hours later, look at that. He says, I have never seen another type that is humane.
Pi, yeah, that's true.
It was you and Malaysia that was the most humane. He says, molecules are safe for human gods. It not rot the spinal cord, retinas, or brain tissue or intestines. That's true. If your bones damaged, oh yeah, they might hack your bones. That's true. Then Pai said, it was graphic fight, Pi. You fought 20 different white guys. He says, no, bone safe. I'm more afraid of my retinas.
Yeah, that's true.
It was 20 hours of you fighting him, and then he believes you. He says, near my speed.
Pi abnormal. Yes, we do.
And be careful, Pi. I was a big liar. 2 hours, you realize those are his old people.
Pi, yeah, that's fine.
Yep, I kept
They're innocent whites.
Yep, Yoku. Because they not strike Yoku. They actually went through hell, and then Pi saw they good Yoku. They were like believable Americans.
That's true.
Pi went in there. Was he trying to rape their women, cut up their men and children? No. That was more Allah in that I was in Hebrew character. And Pi said, look at that. 2 fucking hours. They cried in their fucking brain. They knew it. The holes are monsters, that's true. And they thought Pi was the evil one. Pi never done that to your woman because Pi never liked her. Yep. If Pi did that, Pi gave her citizenship. That's true. Pi made her the owner of the space building, always immune to every dragon cobra.
That's true.
And then her knew it. The bot there is faster than any.
Yeah, that's true.
The dumbass never believed you, Pi. 2 hours. An evil citizen sat there and gets vaporized. Yes, the green light always is do. That's a mom now. That's true. Mom status. That's true. 2 hours later, her knew it. That is a mom. Even as a mom, prostitute status is good. Her is an elderly person. Her is poor. That's how her began. Her is clean human God. Yeah, that's good. That's why people made fun of that fucking bitch. Thinking Pi was not thoughtful. 4 fucking hours of her screaming. Pi's nights are there, and then Pi looted the citizen. Yeah, 100% as we do. Because whatever you may be, I will decrypt your DNA, and Paisan will know that's 100% law. Yes, we do. And Pai said, you know what he said to you? How can you be so evil, Pai? They've been so much, but that's okay. Then we're not broke. Their royalty are not zip. Yeah, that's true. Their sons and daughters can still rebuild. And as crippled as Pi may be, Pi, when you find your old dragons, you pour out the stone, you put it in your right arm, microchip the dragon, and then you can build again. Yes, me too. Right there, when in your right arm, you have a stone, an oval stone block. And right there, Pi, you're building, you're building Space Country. The first 2 you gave to your grandma Lowhawk, 100% as we do. The second one you gave to one of your male gods, Pi, 100% as we do. Because Pi can build more. Pi is graphic. 2 hours, your new selling shouted, Dad, where is ours? And Pi wrote, not yet, me testing all the bugs, me not want you to die, y'all could. You part white, yeah, y'all could. And he nodded, Pi. He flew off, and then right there, your remote view, it was Hebrew, yeah, Hebrew good. That was a Hebrew egg you bred with. Those are your half Hebrew sons, and he is pure evil, yeah, he's pure evil. But righteous, because he's Hmong, he knows never go above and beyond Dad, yeah, that's true. 2 hours, he said no, because me, Hmong, we can't do that, yeah, we can't do that, that's true. And just said, ya can go, but no, because then Grandpa will take all my privileges and rights away, that's true, that's norms. And then we be up another, yeah, y'all could. And just said, 2 hours later, and just said, but he said, you're the first God that bred into her. That little son was so powerful, he flew around Texas, and then the old Hebrew came down, and they're part another white nation, and then he knew it, that is part of his spinal cord DNA at normal. They said, Pi, you're so lucky, those are rare. Yeah, that's true. And what Pi never told you, there's another type of Persian woman. There's a clit up there and a clit on the bottom. That's true, yep, that is 5-sided stars woman, and that's why they were lied to. Pi, yep. The goetic demons lied to you, and right there he knew it. That those are the real white goddesses. Them were in fact the 2nd-gen clones, and then genuine. And then right there came European. That's true, the 3rd-gen, and right there he smashed his right arm and said, Paisan, you the most evil god. You know what? Hashtag no, y'all good. Paisan, me too, Pai. 说大告诉 说you're normal, so yeah, the woman never believed you. It was 9 hours of your old sons meeting you. You hugged they, yep, they survive Earth, yes do. A space country on Mars, yep. Infinity, yes do. What you don't know, Pi, yep. Your space station there, yep, it's infinity. What you don't know, liars, him, he hid him there. Pi went to talk to him, and then he broke his butt because his own son was caught raping his wife. Pi, that's fine, yep, Pi re-established. Pi admitted him normal, normal, common sense, forgivable, yes, that's true. Yep, he gets all his privileges back, normal, yes, do. Yes, do, accurate. Yes, and he's back to father status, yep, 100% do, green light, yes, do, yes, normal, yes, do. People are going 100%, and the funny thing is, Pi, 2 hours, he says, what? We fucking did what? And then 3 days he kept beating her up and said, don't do what I did. Pi's merciful, that's true. It was graphic. He didn't like the sun because it kept eating other men's penis. Yeah, that's fine, normal. It was too graphic for you. Yeah, that's fine, Yaka. Yeah, they're poor, bisexual beggars, normal, yeah, normal. They have, human men, God like that in the Middle East. They walk, knees out, side to side, and then walk forever. That's true. Yeah, those are embarrassing, but they're allowed to dwell and live on. That's true, and make more. The dumbass, not knowing white god culture, Pi, thought they were fucking evil. They're broke. Yeah, they're broke. Did they go and steal? No. They begged their parents, their white friends, and gained. Yeah, that's true. The dumbass never believed you, Pi. Went back in time and saw that was his whole nation. That's true. What the pay someone who the bony are just shameless, so that she allowed to live.
Yeah, that's true.
And make more and dwell on
Yeah, that's true.
and survive Yaku. The liar is Hmong Xiong. Pai said when you're done gutting the Hmong Xiong, he thought that Pai was funny. Pai said when you're there, you gut him, and then he says, "What ya? Ni Hmong tu bao hai tia chong tu ya cho ni vô chua talk her."
Là một
Ai
trái.
à mua chai nên ra câu nữa mua chai vì nếu như tụi chú ma đó tụi trò nhẹ nếu tao kén nó quan gia ya bao giờ tụi con ma đó nữa một lần đó là chú mà không là tay là cho phong như ma đó ya cho nên ma đó là tiếp phong tay yêu tay viên dầu là tao kén mà là mua lú họ châu trà cho xe ngủ sáng lâu sáng xí tia ya mà tao kén ý tụi
Yok.
cho nên
Dạ, dạ, dạ.
lời chú tao muốn nhiên tao có hai ninh tới ra
Dạ, dạ, có sai phải. Bê sao mù á. Tu trưởng bò nó luôn nó có cho nè một đêm bò liên nữa là tuổi 100% được. Lo thế hay thế cho từ vô chúa nên nó thọ khởi là sự trong một tay cái tay liên nó phải bỏ kia phải một cái chuyện đó họ
tia ya Pai Walker and then right afterwards tụi mình on the hook qua không một sai tụi mình cho DNA nhá nó có muốn luôn nó thâu cái bao tụi mình thì có đại chip có cho đại chúa sự đại 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 real Pai Paul
cái ya phải bỏ cái
Pai took it and then Pai knew Pai saved it away and Pai never used it because Pai's bootleg version is the generic brand that is ultimate. Africa cannot hack you yet. Palestinian grandpa was the smartest. My God,
that's true.
the dumbass didn't believe you, Pai. Those weapons are never registered to African Sun God or Egypt.
That's true.
And Pai reported accurately. And the dumbass, he absolutely think that registering his metal into devices in Egypt made him a top. Pai not telling the truth.
That's true.
Later on in life, Pai told yeah, I told look on what you see. I got the bone.
Yeah, eat that from Pai.
Pai knew it. Pai shouted. Pai said, "Heal, and don't steal from me." Yoka, he nodded. Later on, 2 chunks of your throat metal's missing, and then he regenerated his skin. He says, "There, now me match."
Yeah, that's fine.
Pai went and then re-injected.
Yeah, normal 100% video.
Because it's all clone compound.
Yeah, 100% video.
Pai, you said it took you 9 years to manage again.
Yeah, normal, yes, we do.
You want to know why Pai never told you all the requirement? Because that's only human God wisdom and knowledge.
That's true.
And know-how. And Pai said, "You won." The dumbass didn't believe you. 4 hours later, he says, "In life, when your elixir is being hacked into by those African gods, if you do not have tiny metal in the nucleus, and then it automatically, shoots that stick and atom out, and then that molecule element, you'll die."
Yeah, you'll die.
Yep, it appears. Like you said, you did it. 12 gods laughing with you. It is the best fight scene. Egyptian laugh because he's allowed. Yeah, he's a grandpa that's allowed to enter the Egyptian prisons that you have in Asia, side of the heaven. He loosed them for parts and DNA magic.
Yes, dude.
The funny thing is, once he's done killing them, there are only 400 left normal. Yes, dude. Or a few thousand, yeah, normal. Yes, dude. And the funny thing is, 9,000.
Yeah, 9,000, yes, dude.
Yeah, fly out of there.
Yes, dude.
It is very graphic news, Pi. When you got them, it was 80.
Yeah, 80 left.
And then right there, Pi spared a lot of their women. Their African women are still goddess, are still flying around. Pi laughed, and then Pi flew back.
Yeah, Pi flew back to the UFO. That's true. Pi, 2 fucking graphic white bitches, and they're laughing. Oh my God. Pi kept doing that to them like animals.
Yeah. Don't just say,
That's true.
some of those European gods are gutted that way.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, we do.
And Pai said, it is not knowing that you've done that to them too because they were lamb.
That's true.
Then thought Pai was stupid, and Pai told them the truth. Some of your Hebrew gods' ancestry called you.
That's true.
I know that's not how you do. That's not what you do to get into my space country.
That's true.
Because we just see. To grandpa, beat him up. I said, since you're an ancient grandpa, me not want you to die, but me will beat you up. I punched him a few times and I shouted, heal, grandpa. Yes, me collected, me kept a few, but they're only allowed to dwell here until they clear their status.
Yeah, that's true.
And then continue, yes, do. And right there you fly off. He's stuck there in a metal building and all them in trouble.
That's true.
And Pai, you said, take a look. Now it cries. This is Pai was the most evil, but Pai let him live because Pai found him righteous. Yeah, his work checked out.
That's true.
He done something right in his life.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Dumbass and Lao has no idea. 2 hours, Pi came back, looted it, and then Pi matched. And then Pi knew it. That's what that fucking spirit was using. And then 20 hours later, you match, and then you cry, Pi. When you go into your science mode, you not malfunction, but your nose is all you have left.
Normal, yes, me do.
And then you smile.
Oh, yeah, you smile, yes, me do.
It was 9 hours of you smiling. And then people make fun of you, Pi. They wrote, you can never be an organic god now, Pi. Laugh. Watch this. The microchip technology, your King Cobra mode lasts only about 12 to 13 seconds. And right there, fast enough for your science nucleus elements to clone and boom, back in your science mode. And you match precise speed, infinity amount of time.
That's true.
And it was mere 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
Right afterwards, when you're cut up, Pi, it degrades after 5 hours.
Pi, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Pi shout the nanos and then pull and tug and then you have normal again.
Yeah, same speed.
Yeah, same speed. Very graphic. 2 hours of you laughing. Chinese said to you, Pi, how can you fight like that? Because you have perfect restore.
Yeah, restores. Yeah, skin mode.
You didn't die. The race hit you and you survived. Don't tell human gods that. That is not easy to acquire.
Yeah, that's true.
不是这些，你都多到下手猛的，那你都是来，你都寂寞呀，那寂寞怕呀呀，来的吧。